Technology-wise, the ML63 is really a powerhouse. It is fitted with a whole host of systems as standard, whether it's the full-blown surround sound system or one of the safety systems, such as active lane keeping assist. This is a system that actually monitors where you are in the lane itself, and as you veer closer to the edge, it's going to warn you you're getting too close by vibrating the steering wheel. If you actually exceed the lane, it's going to use the ABS system to grab a hold of one of the brakes and actually pull the vehicle right back onto the road. As well, blind spot assist. Everybody knows that as you're traveling along down the road, it's very easy just to turn the turn signal on and change lanes, maybe not looking as intently as you should. This is actually paying attention to you. It's actually looking over your shoulder, so to speak. And in the side mirror is actually going to be a little indicator light to let you know when someone is in your blind spot. And even if you don't look in the mirror and turn the turn signal on to change lanes anyway, it will actually set off an audible tone inside the car to let you know that you might have been pulling in front of someone a little bit too close. In addition to that, we actually have the suspension system is adaptive dampening. So this not only allows you to change the settings of the shocks for your ride, whether you wanted to have it in comfort mode, which is a nice soft ride, going over undulating bumps, it's not going to move the body as much, or put it in sport for more spirited driving, again, which tightens up the suspension and really tightens up your feel to the road itself. It also features the active curve system, which is a system which actually uses hydraulic actuators to counteract the body roll of a vehicle when going into a turn. So as you're going into a turn, you know, a vehicle would typically want to lean to the outside of the turn. That causes you to have to slow down and changes the road feel. So this system actually counteracts that to keep the body flat as you're going around a turn itself. It allows you to have much more of a commanding stance, puts a better contact patch of the tires onto the road itself, better control, better safety, and more confidence for the driver itself. Because as we know with all of the safety systems, the driver has to feel confident, has to be knowledgeable about what they're doing. You spend a lot of time looking at the interior of a vehicle, and that's why it's so important. I mean, if you're going to be sitting in traffic, wouldn't you want to be looking at fine quality craftsmanship, beautiful margins, tastefully done silver shadow features? Even at nighttime, there's little details such as ambient lamp lighting. So underneath the dash and going around the edges of the doors actually is LED and fiber optic lighting, which is selectable. So the customer can select 3 different colors. So you can set the mood and intensity of the light that's in the vehicle. From the moment you open the door in the ML63, you know that you have an AMG in your hands. It has an illuminated door sill, which has the AMG logo. And then looking into the interior, you see all of this wonderful leather and contrast stitching. The interior is quite different on the ML63 versus a 550 or say a 350 because Designo leather is actually standard. Designo tends to be one of our higher end options on a lot of our vehicle lines. And Designo provides us with custom leathers and trims and paints as well, but this interior comes standard. Sumptuous leather, which was hand selected and hand stitched. Contrast stitching, which gives you these wonderful accents to the lines of the seats and the lines of the dashboard. And trims that really you couldn't find anywhere else. This particular vehicle is fitted with the poplar wood finished with a piano black lacquer to a mirror shine. Really an avant-garde attention grabber when you get in there. As you sit down in the 14-way power chair, which also has heat and ventilation standard, you take a look at this amazing dashboard. It's all about the attention to detail. The Designo leather with the contrasting stitching. The silver elements here, which mimic the silver elements that are on the front and rear of the car. You can really see that this is one fantastic interior. As you sit in this seat, you can really tell it was designed for performance. The seats hold you nice and snug into the vehicle, and you look upon this very beautiful cockpit. First thing you see is the AMG steering wheel. Covered in leather with perforated side grips. Behind that it has a set of aluminum shift paddles so that you can command the transmission into what gear you want. And a whole host of buttons that operate the navigation system and also the other features of the vehicle. Behind that is the AMG instrument cluster. Gauges are surrounded in the same silver that you saw with the rest of the dashboard, but they have their own unique face because this is in fact an AMG. And of course the top speed indicator is a little bit higher on this car. As you take a look at moving into the dash itself, you'll see that right here everything is aligned in one particular location. It makes it easy to grab without really taking too much of a look. The new ML is actually fitted with our command controller. This simple rotary knob allows you to control almost all the features of the command system, whether that is navigation, Bluetooth, Sirius satellite radio, accessing your iPod, or downloading music onto the hard drive registry, which is in the vehicle itself. You can do it all with a simple knob and simple motions. Most important about this is that it allows you to keep your focus on driving instead of looking for buttons on the dashboard. Also on the dashboard itself is a quite large color screen, which gives you all the indicators from your radio and navigation and things of the like, as well as their respective individual buttons. Coming down to the front panel here, this is where you can control your seats, whether it's ventilation or heat, turn on and off traction control, or you can actually press the Eco button. The Eco button is what allows the Eco start-stop system to activate, where you can have additional fuel savings when you come to a traffic light. The engine turns off and then turns back on when you go to leave the traffic light again. Traveling down the center console, you see the dual zone climate control, which allows the driver to have a different temperature than the passenger. And also, as we move back into the center console, you'll see there's an array of buttons here, which allow you to control the airmatic suspension, both raising and lowering the vehicle. Also access to control the transmission settings, whether you want to be in controlled efficiency, which is nice soft shifts, or you really want to get spirited driving and move yourself into manual, where you completely control everything by the steering wheel paddles. As well as control of the suspension itself, where you can make it in comfort mode, which is the suspension is very soft and comfortable, or you can put it into sport mode, which again, really lends to that spirited driving. And because it's always important to have a place to put your things, there's many little cubby holes and cup holders, storage bins, and additional storage space, which allows you all sorts of places to put your things. The ML63 is a vehicle that invented this segment. SUVs were always important. They had the utility, but they didn't necessarily have the style and performance. And this is where the ML63 kind of melds these together. You have the utility of an SUV with the safety of Mercedes-Benz, all of the technologies that come along with that. But you also have the AMG aspect of it, which brings performance into this, all wrapped together in beautiful styling, as well as once you take a look at the interior and you see that Designo leather, you're pretty much sold right off the bat. So really kind of it's the best of all worlds, and that's what makes the ML63 AMG the leader.